Hello, everybody. My name is Denise Bonfiglio. I'm the Director of Cadets, and welcome to the Cadets May virtual camp. We just finished camp. We've had a great weekend, a great session, and we have a special presenter here today to join us by a man whose name is actually Rich McGarry, but he is truly and humbly known as Scotty. Scotty has been the Cadets historian for 26 years. Scotty moved from Scotland to the United States back in the 50s, and he marched in the Cadets for 8 years. Scott's been a member of the board of directors for the Cadets. Scott has been a longtime volunteer for the Cadets, and we get to have a little part of him typically every year at pre-tour, where he can come and talk to all of us and educate all of us about the history of the Cadets. The Cadets history started in 1934, and this is one of the oldest active drum and bugle corps in the world, actually. Scott, are you here with us?
You clicked on it, that means they. I don't want them to see me. Is this what you clicked on?
How's that?
There you go.
There you
Hey,
go.
Scotty. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
We
Thanks
are
for having me.
really honored to have you here today with all of us. We've got in the Zoom camera behind you, the entire corps is with you, the entire
God.
staff is with you, and the entire world is with you now, actually. So we're all super excited to,
My God, I'll lose this.
we're super excited to,
Sam's texting me to leave.
we have one person here. We're gonna, oh, there he is. Now that noise is gone. But we are excited to have you as our historian at the Cadets and to teach all of us about the history of this truly unbelievable, historic drum and bugle corps. All about you, Rich.
Thank you, Denise. That's, I appreciate it. I'm flattered very much so. And I mean, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and as Denise pointed out, but regardless of the year, I am always deeply flattered to have this opportunity to present the history of the Corps with you. And hopefully I'll be able to share some points with you that'll give you a deeper appreciation of who the Cadets are, starting from 1934 all the way through. We will not be covering all of those years. You wouldn't get out of here until tomorrow night or something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give you some introductory comments, show you a small selection of slides, explain to you what the slides represent, and then we're going to go into the heart of the matter, which is a video which goes from 1934 through the end of last season. I will make comments on certain parts as appropriate, but before I do anything about that, let me just do a couple of little easy things. Just for your information, I'm a professor by profession, and I just finished using Zoom with about 90 students, but in a different area than what you're involved with. Yeah, teach theology and religious studies and a lot of healthcare courses. So I was dealing with about 90 nurses. So I switched from them to drums and bugles and color guard, which is really my joy, so to speak. So as Denise, well, let me just tell you a very quick story. I moved to the United States in '57. My dad took us, me and my brother, to Holy Name Church in Garfield. Then we proceeded to go to a parade in Hackensack, New Jersey, and we saw this band standing on the side with these maroon jackets and gold sashes. And I said, well, who are those people? And I was informed they are the Holy Name Cadets, and they had just won a championship in Atlantic City. So it was like, I said, well, they are really cool. So somebody asked me if I would like to join them. Well, 2 weeks later, I was being taught how to play a horn. And the following year, I was marching, still with, still with the cadets. I was only like 13 years old. But that year we switched to Garfield Cadets, and I stayed with them up through '66, as did my older brother and my younger brother. So there was three of us at one time marching. I stayed with the cadets in the capacity that Denise is pointing to for many, many years, and I'm sort of flattered by how much has happened. I want to just do something for you. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I'm going to. It's very hard to sort of capture who we are and what we represent and such. And I'm going to read for you one portion of the letter by one of your colleagues. I believe she's marching against this year. Her name is Jenna Schoenagel. We read a piece of this letter last year at History Night, and I also shared with you a similar letter from 1988 in which that person echoed what Jenna had to say about what does the cadets mean. So permit me to read this for you, okay? The cadets is my home. They are my family. I met the alumni for the first time yesterday, and it immediately made me feel like family because we have the mutual understanding of what it means to be a cadet. Although the years we marched together were apart, we all experienced the same thing, and we were immediately connected. It was an honor to meet the past cadets. It made me truly realize the power of the legacy that myself and the current members of the Corps are responsible for carrying on. I think the alumni involvement in our experience is crucial to our success and where we're going. If you don't know where you've been, I wish that every current marching member could have attended the cadet celebration and felt the love that I experienced that day. And she goes on, during the summer, our caption heads would often ask us why we march, what fuels our desire to perform during rehearsals, not just performances. Oftentimes, if not all the time during the summer, I couldn't name a reason why. I grew up being exposed to the marching arts, so marching became a goal of mine. Once I achieved my goal, I became lost and struggled to find the reason why. Yesterday showed me why. It showed me that there is a reason we all work so hard every summer to put together an amazing show. We have all been told of the incredible and supportive alumni that we love and do this every summer. Until yesterday, it seemed just like a story. Well, now I feel it, and I'm going to feel the alumni with me every time I walk on the field as a marching member. The conclusion, at the celebration of this dinner we had in honor of a man named cadet by the name of Dave Shaw, says, we all stood to sing the holy name hymn. It is a moment I will cherish forever. I got to stand with many alumni. They marched many years before I was born, and they sing our core song, unchanged and exactly the same to all of us that have passed through the Corps. Standing in that room, singing the song with those people showed me how significant this experience truly is and how it will never leave me for as long as I live. I thank you, cadets. I thank you, Dave Shaw, for holy name shall always be. Thank you, Jenna. Okay, very simple. Somebody asked me to try and capture why this organization is so special. There's three words that I ask you to remember: our tradition, a tradition of excellence, a tradition and excellence in how we perform and behave on and off the field, innovation, what we perform and how we perform. As I was sitting waiting for this to begin, I was listening to your opening piece of music, and I think Tom Unks was leading the narration about something about New York City. Well, I could tell you, one thing you know about the cadets is we're never going to be boring. Good. Every year is a different kind of show. It's something innovative. It ranges from West Side Story to military marches to Shostakovich, et cetera, et cetera. And all of that makes us special. But more importantly, if I could say, is how we behave and conduct ourselves, both on the field and off the field. So with that being said, I'm going to make comments every now and then during the video, or if there's a point where you would like to ask me a question, please feel free to do that. Okay, so I believe Justin's going to show us several photos, and then we'll lead into the history video. Okay. Okay, what you're looking at on that page is the original Holy Name Cadet Charter from 1934. It is a 3-page document, and you can see there was no Microsoft Word. Okay, this explains who the organization is: a cadet drum and bugle corps of the Most Holy Name Church, Garfield, New Jersey, our bylaws. So here are the people who are in here. Okay, where there's a person who I want to draw your attention to. Her title, this title is Joseph Huber. Okay, today that person would be Denise. Okay, this is the corps director. Then the drum majors, bugle sergeants, captain of the color guard, etc. And there's something very different at that point. No women. Well, that changes. Okay, so and then it goes on to tell you about the different roles of the organization, right? If we were at the history at the rehearsal camps, I would show you the 3 original documents, okay? Let's go, move on, please. Okay, this is a picture of the Holy Name Cadets. We had our own bus, and I believe we were going to the championship out in California. So you see the information on the back. National American Legion Junior Champions. Today, that would say DCI champions. So this is around the year of 1950. Every cadet member had this kind of funny looking hat. And this young man over here has a Holy Name Cadet jacket on. Okay, next, please. This is 1959. Okay, the year we left Holy Name Church and became known as the Garfield Cadet. We did not have any uniforms. We didn't have our equipment. When we went to Chicago for the championship, we borrowed percussion and other materials from the Chicago Cavaliers. We, meaning the cadet members, had to buy the shorts, the shirt, and the hat. And that was our uniform for the second half of 1958. And then we slowly switched back to the Holy Name uniform that you're familiar with. Next, please. This is the 1988 color guard in Port Huron, Michigan. This young lady in the middle is a legend. Her name is Peggy Twiggs. She was the lead cadet color guard instructor. And this was a championship guard, if I remember correctly, DCI champion, right? I know that night we had a show against the Blue Devils, and maybe that's why they're smiling. We probably beat them. I don't know. Okay, next photo. This is 1983 when we won our DCI championship in Miami Beach, okay? We had received our medals and we were singing the Holy Name song, okay? Next one, please. This is the 1995 color guard. I don't know why I have all color guard pictures, doesn't matter. 1996, I believe, okay? Because we went down to Atlanta twice, once for the Olympic Games and the other for the DCI championship, okay? Next one. This is when we are starting to get the traditional uniform. And you can see that this gentleman is a drum major, or one of them. And I'm not quite sure what instruments these young men play. This guy looks like he's the older one. And these are the distinctive military caps that we all wore, okay? Justin, please. This is 1959. We had switched away from those shorts that you saw, and we're in a position, we're transitioning into the traditional cadet uniform, which has become classic. And this is 1959, so the following year, 1960. Okay, next, please. This is the first year when we had girl members in a card, and the Corps, I believe it's 1969. And those flags you see in the background, each one represents a year we won a championship, whether it was national championship or DCI. Okay, DCI wasn't in existence yet; it was soon to be. Okay, next one. This is the cadet equipment truck, our only vehicle. Okay, and we were down in Wildwood, New Jersey, and the Corps stayed at this Thunderbird Motel. That was like a holiday weekend for us. At the end of the season, we went down there for a state championship. Now you can see on this vehicle all of the years that we had won the championships, okay? So this was actually 1958 because we won the championship in 57. It's right over there, okay? Let's see, one more. And this is the brass section from, I think it's 2015 when we won high brass. Okay, well, that's with the symphony from Shostakovich. And we had a killer mellophone section. They're absolutely fantastic. And you can see the big uniform change. We went from the maroon and gold to wearing black that year. Okay, next one, please. This is kudos to Tom Owens. This is the percussion section from the 80s. I believe they had an undefeated score in the 87 championship. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This, you may know Lee Bettis right over here, and I'm not quite sure who's in the other photo. Okay, this young man I know works and teaches, I think in Japan, if I recall correctly. 90, okay, 1990. Thank you, Tom. Next photo. This is the legendary George Zingali. Okay, he is a legend in drum corps for his innovative and challenging drill designs, such as the infamous Z-Pool. He's the man who did it. He was, in my opinion, he was a genius. He was a character, but boy, was he a lot of fun. A lot of great innovative drills go to his credit. Okay. Next one. This is the cadets and the block 1987, 2007 in Boise, Idaho. I remember taking this photo. It's this is the stands in the background, and we were getting ready to take the field. This was probably one of the finest cadet performances I have ever seen. Okay. Next, please. This is last year. I think this is our pit section. They were good, and this was at Annapolis. They always tell you where you are, okay? They were a terrific group of young people, really talented. I don't know who's back next year, but this year, but I look forward to seeing you. Okay, next, please. And this was just last fall, our anniversary celebration. And here you see this gentleman was the corps director in the 70s, and he had 3 of his children and his son-in-law march for the corps. This is his son, Greg Stenzio, up here. So all of these people, starting from just last year all the way back, are one thing we share in common. We are cadets, okay? That was a great celebration, okay? These are brothers, so you have dad and son. These are original members of the corps, okay? At the banquet we had this weekend, and you can't quite see the information. These gentlemen marched in the 1930s. All right, so that's part of the legacy that I referred to before. Do we have any more, Justin? This is our bass drum head from 1965 or so. And it shows, this is all hand done. The gentleman who did this, his name was Mr. Adamo. Okay. All of the championships we won, okay? You can see how badly beaten the drum heads were, okay? We were pretty good, okay? Several three-peats. The last one, I think, it was 83, 84, and 85. Okay. Next one, please. This is simply cadet buttons that you could purchase, and this is an old Garfield one, and that was replaced by this one, okay? You can't have them. These pictures were taken in my, up in my office, and it just shows you Cadet Shaco, the old bugle. Please take note, 1 valve, okay? And we use the slide, okay, to change the pitch. And if you're attentive enough back in there is a Green Bay Packers sticker. Okay, next one. This is simply a Garfield Cadet sweatshirt. I bring that material out to the camp so you guys can wear it if you'd like to. I mean, it's a selection of jackets and such. Okay, is there any more, Justin? These are the drum majors for Cadets 2. All right, so this was a couple of years ago. I think this young man marched with us. They had 3 drum majors, and they were a pleasure to work with. They had some really good chorus. Okay, and just the Holy Name Cadet button. Okay, and this again is the block. I think we're taking the field at the '87 championship in Madison. I believe we won. Okay. And that's me. Okay. I am wearing, so you are aware of it, a Holy Name Cadet t-shirt. Okay. Did you miss that, Denise? Oh, please. You see it backwards? Okay, just have to flip it around. It says, "For Holy Name shall always be." Okay, so does anybody have any questions at this point? If not, when we move into the video, just a comment, please take note of the change. You'll hear the changes in the music and the drill design, the composure of the core members. We have everybody. We have people. I saw John Bilby in the photos before. So, oh, John, you got cadet members from England, Scotland, Europe, Asia, all over the place. So the diversity of the corps is really, really something cool. So as you begin, I'll try not to interrupt too much, but if I need to make a comment, I will do so. Okay, are we ready with that, Justin? The video? Original uniform. It's going to switch of the Cavaliers.
I think they lost their sponsor and their sponsored PA.
Yeah, the church pulled all the equipment,
They didn't have any equipment or uniforms or anything.
so we just gave them our stuff. And that's when, and Don Angelica was the soloist. Well, we were very close with them. I mean, we had a good relationship with Garfield, and they would cheer us on at shows. They always wanted us to beat SAC because that was their main competitors. Again, we had a very close relationship with them until they beat us. You know.
Cavaliers
Our next
doing.
score is the 1961 American Legion Junior Drum and Bugle Corps champions. From Garfield, New Jersey, the Garfield Cadets.
The big change.
The Garfield Cadets. Garfield by a tenth of a point. A tenth of a point. 1/10 of a point. Deciding the winner tonight. And it is the Garfield Cadets for the second year in a row and a record high score of 98. Mind you, this is based on a scale of 100. And their score of 98.4. Garfield winning number 3 drum corps history. Don, is that a record high score?
I tend to think it was. Last year they won with a 98, and that was the highest ever, so 98.4 is it right now.
the stillness of the night, there comes a time to understand, to reach out and touch tomorrow, take the future in our hand. We can see a new horizon built on all that we have done, and our dreams begin another thousand circles around the sun. We go on to the joy and through the tears. We go on to discover
Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I know that's an awful lot probably for you to more or less to take in, but does anyone have any questions or comments on what you just watched? Thank you, Anthony. Thanks, Tom. Hopefully you saw yourself in there, and just please keep in mind that, thank you, Chabelle. Okay. You're a part of this legacy. Yeah. Those of you who are here for the first year, you are a cadet. You're part of this incredible organization that goes all the way back to 1934. And it's an honor to be able to help you in some small way to appreciate who we are. We are the cadets. Thank you, John. You know, at this point, if there's no other comments or that, I'd just like to hand it back over to Denise. I think she's got some closing comments for you.
Yes. Scotty, thank you so much. That was an amazing history lesson, truly. We are, you know, obviously we're, you know, some of the footage that you provided, you know, back through the 30s and the 40s, the 50s, you know, they're just things that, you know, resonate with me, you know, throughout those years. And as you talk about, you know, excellence and innovation and, you know, creativity, and one thing was change. You know, this organization has been constantly, you know, in a flux of change, and that's what's helped to keep it alive for, you know, now 86 years. You know, so, but that was we're so thankful that we have, you know, the footage of its history and its roots, you know, to the very beginning of time, where, you know, some organizations don't really have that, you know. So, and Scotty, you're a fantastic historian. We're so lucky to have you here with us to bring to us a whole lot about our history. And to all the members, you know, Scotty is around. If you have some questions for him at any given time, just let us know, and we'll make sure to bring them back to Scotty. So Scott, thank you so much for your time today.
Okay. My pleasure. I will be on tour when we picked it up again, in all of the events throughout the year. I'll be around. I can watch out because I have a camera with me all the time.
Well, we look forward to that day, truly.
Okay. All right.
As we're all together.
Yes, soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I wanted to thank everybody that has donated to the Maroon and Gold campaign. You know, we kicked off the campaign not too long ago, and you know, we've had great success with it. And there was so many people have donated to this organization and its history, and I truly thank you for your generosity. The campaign is still active. You know, with change comes change, and the cadets have just recently launched into our own, once again, independent organization. That happened as of May 1st, actually. The cadets have a brand new website, cadets.org, and we are powering quite a few new things off of that website very soon. The one of those things that we've been powering from that website is a series called Tom Talks. And I don't know if you've been able to capture that, but we've had close to 40,000 people viewing those sessions with Tom, and he has had some iconic people, from all different drum corps, giving us an education about their roots, where they started, some of their motivations behind what it was that they were doing, what they, brought to this activity. So we're going to continue to do that. Tom will have those sessions happening every Thursday night at 8 p.m. So please, keep an eye out for who our next guest speakers are. And truly, there are going to be some special folks coming up. I can't wait to see them, actually, and listen to them and listen to their stories. Some of their stories I was part of. I taught with most of the folks that have been on these sessions. I've taught with them, throughout my drum corps career, and I know truly how talented they are. And it's so awesome that we get to share that with all of you. We've got some, as part of the campaign for the Maroon and Gold Club. The theme of that is Always a Cadet. We had some t-shirts created that are Always a Cadet. Those are currently on sale at the Pepware website. So if you go through cadets.org, click on the merchandise, you'll be able to see that. It's a very short window in which that merchandise will be, that particular t-shirt will be available to you while the campaign is active. So please make sure that you get out there soon to check on that new t-shirt. And then also Pepware has some merchandise that's going to be featured every week for 50% off. And I have this track shirt on currently. I actually bought this during the summer, but you can get this for a half price right now off of, from our website, the merchandise website. And every week we're going to be featuring another particular item that will be 50% off. So please do, check that out. We have a new offering that's happening. Drum Corps International has partnered with Marching Education Arts and DCI in partnership with that platform. It's going to be featuring drum corps for every day from June 1st, I think, until July. And the cadets are going to have a session on June 11th. And there'll be sessions that happen during the day. The curriculum is currently up on the Marching Arts website. DCI is actually broadcasting this also. But we will have our day. On June 11th, you'll get to learn from the design team at the cadets. And Tom will kind of walk you through that. You get to learn a little bit about what our caption managers do. Dr. Matt Stratton will have a conversation about kind of the role of what the caption managers are. And it's extremely important role. Basically once the design team takes the program from its very beginning notes and dots, they hand that down to the caption managers, and then they make that magic happen, with all the faculty and their educators that are on staff. So they play a very important role with the organization. We're going to hear from the internal leadership of the Corps, some of the members, the drum majors of the organization. They'll be on. And then lastly, I'll be on you can all learn a little bit more about me and the rest of the management team, of the cadets. So that will all be happening live on that platform on June 11th. So be sure to check that out. We are also going to be launching off the cadet.org website our new online store. We will have many items for sale off that platform. If you are in a position and you are currently shopping for instruments or accessories, cadets.org is the place to be to find that stuff off the store. So that will be live next week. And finally, we are going to be launching an online educational platform called The Edge. And the word The Edge has been around the cadets for quite some time. And we just thought it was appropriate to kind of recreate that through an online e-learning platform that, there's lots of e-learning going on, through all different types of avenues, of different types of drum corps are doing, all this different types of learning. But we wanted to focus this platform to an audience that there hasn't been much attention being paid to, and that's the middle school, high school level of education. And that's where we're gonna focus the Edge. The Edge is going to offer some on-demand video. It's going to offer some, one-on-one private lessons. And then it's also going to offer a series of education. And Tom Ungst and some of his folks, Darcy and Neil and others, have put together a curriculum for, summer studies that is quite exciting. So Tom Ungst, can you talk a little bit more about the Edge?
Yeah. So thank you. I think we have some of the most talented instructors in the business. And so Neil, Darcy, myself, Ricky, Jake Gall decided to get together, and we came up with this virtual camp. And we weren't sure if we were going to do 2 weeks or 1 week, but we decided that we run 1 week. It's from the 22nd of June to the 26th. Starts at 10 in the morning, and we're done around 3:30. And like Denise said, we will include all ages, so middle school, high school, and really beyond. So we're looking for players that, if you think you're ready for the cadets and you need some lessons, this would be the perfect opportunity. We will have 4 sessions a day, and in these sessions we'll learn about drumming, keyboard playing. So if you're a keyboard, we have sessions on that. If you don't have an instrument at home, no problem. We've learned of ways to teach technique on the carpet, and so these sessions are really kind of set up to whatever you have, we're going to make work. So we have the student track, and then we have a director track too. So if you are an instructor or a director, and you want to learn more about what we do here at the Cadets, from drumming to keyboard technique to indoor, we have some of the best indoor people involved. Electronics, we have some great sessions on that. So I'm excited. We have pretty much the template for the percussion, and once we're finished with this percussion week, we'd like to maybe pass it off. And I know the brass are excited to do it in July, and then the color guard as well. Last thing I want to mention is we are going to use some of the members here, and I already talked about the percussion coming on and performing for these what we call, I guess, virtual campers, right? So we'll have some cadet players on, and at the end of the camp, we're going to get hopefully all the percussion students on. We'll play some music for the virtual campers. So I'm excited about it. If you know of instructors, directors, players that are getting ready for drum corps to middle school, we have it all, for you guys. So yeah. That's that. I guess we're going to try to roll that out under the Edge coming up soon. So Denise. Great,
thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an exciting new platform, and I think we'll be able to reach a lot of folks through that platform. One thing that always has kind of resonated with me, Drum Corps International typically does a lot of analytical studies about the membership and where the members are from and their years in drum corps, and where did they start? Where did they get their start in drum corps? And what we found was that, even for all of us, we were, young teenagers when we first started in this activity. And so we're going to start there, with the Edge platform, and kind of go back to the roots of where things happen, and provide some great education and tools. So for all the educators out there, I know that there's a lot of band camps that are not happening, a lot of music camps that are not happening throughout the summertime. And we hope that, this platform will help to, assist those, with future studies going on, throughout the summertime. So the cadets are going into, this was their last full-blown weekend, for a virtual weekend. From this point forward, we'll go into more individual studies from a caption perspective with the members. Members are working hard. They're, they're playing and they're spinning and they're dancing, and more importantly, their physical fitness, throughout all of this. So they have a pretty, intense curriculum that they're working throughout the next several weeks as we work through a pandemic and a summer of no drum corps. So we will certainly miss being out, seeing our fans, being at shows, competing, all that. But this is going to give us a time to, for us as educators, to provide more education to all of our 2020 members as we roll into from this season into the next season. And we hope to be in front of one another in the fall. So thank you all for joining. And I hope that you all got an opportunity to learn something new about the cadets here today. Certainly I did, and I'm sure that all of our members did also. So thank you for joining. And please check the website, cadets.org. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening throughout the next, several weeks, several months. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you.